Today I'm going to do a quick review on the RYOBI Power Inflator and how to use it. Hey, I'm Andy, professional performance car driver with a passion for well-engineered cars and driving with friends on mountain roads. On this channel, I share with you my driving experiences and bring you videos on new gear and car reviews. So this is a portable power inflator. And so I got the idea for this thing. I gotta, you've heard from other guys say honor the source. I gotta say that I saw an Instagram post from a friend, Seth Thomas, who I think was away on vacation, came home to the airport. When he got to the airport, tire was low. He had one of these guys and he filled up the tire in a few minutes and was on his way. And I saw that and I was like, I need to get one of those things. Especially when we're traveling out in the mountains and I do the rides, the experiences in the mountains, and you're out sometimes and you're not near a service station. Maybe you need a few pounds of air in your tire. And this is a really convenient tool to have because it's small, it's portable. You don't have to carry around some air compressor canister or something like that. And then the other thing is a lot of times with the air compressors at service stations, is they're known or they're prone to have moisture in them. So if you ever discharge some of the air, you might see some water droplets or some water coming out of that. The water, when it heats up, it's going to expand, so your tires could potentially overinflate afterwards. So using something like this kind of eliminates that. This particular unit here, I purchased on Amazon, and I'll put a link down in the description below, and it kind of came as a kit. You got the power inflator itself, a charger, and a battery. This particular one comes with a 4 amp hour battery, and I'll talk about batteries in just a minute. And then it also came with this nice little carrying case, this bag that you can put it all in, so it's easy to take with you wherever you go. I think this whole thing was about $145, so maybe a little bit more than you buy in a small compressor, say for your garage. But when I think about the portability and you take this with you, it's really light. It just made a lot of sense for me. The only word of caution I have for you when shopping for this is you will see a lot of places that will just sell the tire inflator because I think they assume if you're in the RYOBI family of products, maybe you already have a charger and a battery. So this you see a lot. So if you see things listed for like 29, 39, 40 bucks, it's just gonna be this. It will not include those things. So then you get home and you realize you don't have a battery or a charger. And ask me how I know that. A quick note on batteries. So this is a lithium ion battery. So it's just a type of battery, right? These are real popular today. But you have amp hours and you have voltage. So think of the amp hours as like the fuel tank on a car. So this is how much fuel you'll have. And then think of the volts, and this particular one's an 18 volt, is think about how much power that has. So an 18 volt is gonna have power, especially on some tools when you're drilling through wood or something, it's how much power it has. So in the case of this compressor, it's gonna be how much air, how much air this thing's gonna be able to push through and get into your tire. The 4 amp hour again is like the fuel tank. So a lot of batteries, you'll see a ton out there that are 2 amp hours. And I wanted something a little bit longer, a bigger fuel tank, if you will. So as when I'm out on these mountain rides and I'm with a group of 7, 8 cars, if you have to put it, you may have to put a few pounds in 16 tires. I wanted something that was gonna last while we were out on the road. So just a little bit of information on batteries. So you determine what you feel is best that you need. The higher the amp hours, the more expensive it's gonna be because you have a larger fuel tank. So let's go ahead and let me do a quick demonstration. So the front tires on the RS are 29 pounds. I just took out an extra pound, put it to 28. And so if I take this guy here, and I think this one is, you have it up like this and then down to close. A little bit different than some bicycle pumps. But anyway, put this on, put it on there, and then shut it down. And the way this works is interesting. It says 28. I'm really surprised. I don't know if you can see that on here. It says 28. Is that when you turn it on, it's going to have a reading higher than it actually is. And when you release the trigger, it'll settle back down. So let's go ahead and do that here. So see, it said 31, but when I release the handle, it says 28 and a half. And I'm not sure if you can see that. There's a, whatever that is, 2.5 pounds difference. So let's keep going again. So, so there's 32 when I was pumping, and then when I release the trigger, it says 29 and a half. So now let's release it, and let's put this tire gauge on there and see what it actually comes to. It is at, I'll say pretty much probably 29 and a half. So there you go. I think that says that that is actually fairly accurate. Just do another example here. I've lowered the pressure in the tire to 27 pounds. So now I have to put 2 pounds of air in, and then let's see how long it takes to do that. So let's put this thing doesn't bend that good either. I'm trying to find a good way to tweak this thing around here. But let's go ahead and put this on here. And we're gonna go ahead, we're at 27. We wanna go to 29. And then you could see this gauge here, how much it's saying on the gauge. That says 32, and now it's 29 and a half. And I think before we realized that was pretty accurate. And yeah, it's about 29. I don't know if you can see that dial, but it is 29. So it's probably reading, this is probably reading, it has a little bit more air than it actually has. All right, so there you have it. The RYOBI ONE Plus Power Inflator. Of course, inside the garage here, you know, it's an enclosed environment, doors are closed, so it can be a little loud, but outdoors, I think it's just fine. This particular guy here is a long acre tire pressure gauge, right? This is analog, old fashioned. I had a digital one. The problem with the digital one is I always found that the batteries went out at the most inopportune time. You know, you're at the track and you're trying to do stuff and then your batteries go dead and it doesn't work. Unless you have spare batteries with you, it's garbage. So I said, I'm gonna get an analog one and I'm not gonna worry about the batteries. And Long Acre gives you this nice little carrying case there that's helpful. So there you go, just a quick update, review of this guy. You just have to know some of the quirks regarding the readout on the gauge, and I think the best way to learn that is just have a regular tire pressure gauge with you. But this is really handy to have. I just put it in the front of the RS when I go on roads, and so far, so good. If you have any similar tools that you use, you know, put it in the comments below. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, that's it for today. Thanks for watching the video. And as always, stay healthy and stay safe.